Hey YouTube, coming at you with my anti-Poliwrath team, Ferrothorn, GOLISOPOD, Jellicent. Now I know Ferrothorn actually could lose with the Dynamic Punch and counter, but I started with GOLISOPOD because it was in either yesterday or this morning's video. I went against someone, I'm like, GOLISOPOD's an interesting one because Jellicents are everywhere now and you have Shadow Claw for that. And then you are Bug and Water, so you resist all the moves on Poliwrath. So I'm like, okay, let's build around that. And then I know Jellicents are everywhere because it's such a good answer to Poliwrath. I'm like, okay, if this is an anti-Poliwrath team, let's go. But then I'm like, okay, GOLISOPOD, Jellicent, you're double weak to Electric. Lantern is the main one. I need an answer for Lantern, so Ferrothorn makes sense and can still kind of handle Poliwrath, though. So that was the logic behind the team. Let's look at the battles. It is a Bruxish lead, which is running Confusion, so that is fine. They're going to get a move off. I assume it's Psychic Fangs. Maybe Crunch, but no, it's just Psychic Fangs. They are going to lower my defense and just try to overpower with resisted Confusions. So grab a shield and potentially grab a second shield here. I'm more than willing to let this go down and then just take a 2 shield. And if they have Lantern in the back, I can combo with 2 shields here. So we'll let this go. They do take me out. 3 versus 4 turn move. They do take me out and I don't get to move first. I don't remember the game mechanic if that's supposed to happen or not supposed to happen, but that is kind of annoying. Alright, so take it down. Still have 2. Out comes Ludicolo. I'm guessing it's a Razor Leafer, so I really need to get out of here. I really can't have the Jellicent have it. And the Shadow, this is neutral. Can I get to an Aerial Ace? I can. That is huge. Landing this. And now I can go Jellicent in the back. 2 shield. What is it? A Fire Fang Mawile. So this is an easy win here. That is just a Power Punch. And I will go for the Shadow Ball. Try and take it out. Apparently does not take it Mawile from this range. I guess it's a non-shadow, but I can very easily Hex down for the win. Okay, there's your Lantern. That's where you want to see it. So they'll probably get out into something. That something is Poliwrath. I have 2 options here. Does it matter which one you go into, GOLISOPOD or Jellicent? No. All the moves are resisted. I went here because I have Aerial Ace, but Jellicent is tankier and can very easily take out Poliwrath, so you can do either or. Seeing how more glassy GOLISOPOD is, I probably would go Jellicent next time, but it doesn't matter too much which one you take it out with. In terms of moveset, I'm running Aerial Ace and Liquidation. Pick your poison. You're always going to have one thing you can't do. If you run this, you can't hit anything against Lantern. If you run X Scissor instead of Aerial Ace, you can't hit anything against Poliwrath. If you run Aerial Ace X Scissor, you don't have anything for steals. So you're going to always have one that you're not going to be able to throw a move at. So that's what you got to do. Unfortunately, they have a Ferrothorn in the back, so I am baiting here because I need to try to like just chip this enough to put it that I can take it with Thunder on my end. So baiting again. I was hoping to get to the Shadow Ball. I should have probably just chipped with Surf here, knowing that I wasn't going to get it because I tried to go for the move and then they throw and take me out here. So had I chipped with Surf, it probably would have made it much easier to take this out as opposed to now where it's still got a good amount of health. Except if I chipped it with Surf, it's an easy 2 Thunder range. And now it's like just out of 2 Thunder range. It's going to be close with the second Thunder. So I probably, yeah, so definitely chip next time. And I got to worry about a catch here. So that's why I'm farming up, because I'm worried about a catch. So I just wanted to make sure that I knew that they were going to try and catch on something. So get that power up off. I'm trying to have 100 energy so I can get a Thunder coming out of this. And I do. And now that 15 attack coming in handy. You're going to notice I have V's on Ferrothorn, GOLISOPOD. There's 2 things. One, they are actually my normal ones. But whenever you're in a limited meta, going with the higher attack is not a bad option because you have a bunch of mirror matches. So I could have stayed in that matchup, but I want to potentially pull out a Lantern. And that's exactly what I did. There's an argument to be made if you're trying to pull out a Lantern with Golisopod, you should probably run X Scissor. If Golisopod's going to be your safe swap, run X Scissor in something, whether you want X Scissor Liquidation for steals or X Scissor Aerial Ace, so you have something for Poliwrath. Yeah, so if I were to run this team again, but like, look at how much damage that does, right? That is, they have like 1 HP left. One bullet he takes them out, so it's not like it's insignificant. So I'm hoping the Ferrothorn comes back in, or else I'm going to have a problem on the back end here. And unfortunately, they align with their Poliwrath, so now I'll try and chip it here. But having a Ferrothorn that already has a bunch of energy here is not a good scenario to be in. Even though I'm up a shield, because they are going to get those shields back real quick here. So if I don't take this out, yeah, they're already at 2. I'm not going to take it out. If I don't take this out, then I'm going to lose this match. So I double shield. We CMP. I was hoping to get a second Shadow Ball off. And what ends up happening is we basically CMP on the next one. We CMP. I live with 1 HP. They live with like 1 HP. But then by that time, Poliwrath switch timer is up. So Poliwrath comes, we both instant swap, and Poliwrath comes in and just dynamic punches me before I get to move. So yeah. Okay, Poliwrath lead, bad lead. I will go probably Goliso, or I'm going Jellicent. Both are answers, right? And both can play the role of safe swap, which is why I like both in this meta. They're throwing a move which is going to be resisted. That's fine. It is a Reggie, right? So I'll have Shadow Ball for this. And if I didn't... so Reggie's actually be kind of tough because Ferrothorn doesn't have anything for this. So I do get the second move off, which is nice to chip. They end up shielding too. So I can't come Ferrothorn because I'm just going to get lit up there. So I have to come Golisopod. And get off a liquidation. It won't be enough to take out, but I just basically need to shield and farm down is the point that I'm at here. So just got to commit to the shield, got to commit to the farm down, come out with energy. If the Poliwrath comes in, I'll have some Aerial Aces for it, or at least one. And if something else comes in, we'll see what that something is. That something is Ferrothorn. So I think I may either try and catch here. Yeah, try to catch, and I do catch a Power Whip, so that's good banking of the energy and catching a resisted move, a very resisted move. And yes, this is a bad matchup for me, but Power Whip's still super effective, so they're going to probably have to shield. And they do shield. And now I let this go. And my only worry is if they have Icy Wind, which they likely do, they will lower my attack, which is fine. I'll live with these, so I don't need to shield. I need to save that shield for... oh, they don't even get 2 moves. That's great. Which is great, because now I could just do 2 Aerial Aces, shielding up Power Whip, and I'll take this out, because I'm very spammy. So take it out with the Shadow Claw Aerial Ace combo. Pelipper lead. Pelipper is an interesting lead. It's going to be on my next team. I'm trying out Pelipper next. And it's one of those, it's just like, yeah, it's classy, but it hits really hard and kind of spammy. And if you like, Hurricanes would hurt here. Hurricanes hurt against Jellicent. Like, there's a lot of options of where it hurts. They let it go because it was just a Power Whip, but I've already grabbed 1 shield, so I'm basically fine just letting this go down. And I'll just come in Jellicent. But the problem is they're basically at a second Hurricane, so I'm like, okay, I need to respect that Hurricane. It'd be a pretty dumb bait. I expect you to just throw it, and you do. And out comes Quagsire. So I waited to see, because Golisopod is half bug, so Stone Edge would one-shot it essentially. Maybe not from a shadow. It'd be close. So I was seeing like, okay, what's the moveset that you have? And then I'm like, by this point, damage is done. I mean, I'm going to throw here to take it out or grab a shield. If I grab a shield, then I'll probably instant swap, but they may just let it go because they chipped a lot there. And I'm instant swapping, as you can see, because it's generally safe. Lucario, which is okay because they have a resisted fighting move, and now I do need to watch the Thunder Punches. So we'll shield up a potential Thunder Punch here. And it is a Thunder Punch, and I was aware that you may try and catch, so held off. Get the Liquidation. Liquidation will definitely one-shot Lucario from this range because it is so glassy in this league. So take it out here. We'll do like 1 or 2 more, and then we'll... Well, I got like 7 as battles, but we'll do like maybe 1 more, and then we'll just talk about my thoughts on this meta. So, Togedemaru. Oh yeah, this one's just a hard loss because it's a double electric in the back. It's Togedemaru and Magnezone, and I'm just like, oh crap. So yeah, double electric in the back, and I got double water in the back, so I'm just gonna lose this one. Looking at your comments over the last couple videos so far in this meta, not surprising that people are frustrated. I have a comment of RPS League blows. I preferred Fantasy Cup, just dropped 100 elo in this meta. There's talk about like just people copying content creators teams. Yeah, so it just seems like when you're in a limited meta with 10, again, this is not new. When you're in limited meta with 10 Pokemon dominating, it gets stale in 2 days. And we have a week of it. And unfortunately, the other thing is Ultra League, which people are not interested in. So we're just going to have to keep grinding these videos, even though people are just generally not interested, but there's not much we can do here. And someone actually commented on the other video because I said we're going to have a shakeup of the meta and we're going to have a bunch of new moves. And someone said, no, that's not going to happen. Why would you think that? And why I think that is because it would follow the same pattern that they did last year. And last year was essentially they did not do any move updates during the Go Championship. And then they did like, I think that was when the Wing Attack like buff came in to significantly change the meta up. So I think that what they usually do is, again, I think it's a BS excuse. I think that you can make changes to the meta and allow, there's 2 months between when the season starts and when the Pokemon Championship is, 2.5 months. So they have plenty of time to adjust. And these are the best players in the world. They can adjust to the meta with new moves in like a couple weeks, and then there's 2.5 months. Like, I think they'll be fine. But Niantic always hides behind, no, we don't want to change the what do they call it? Like not change the competition. We don't want to like alter the competition ahead of the championship. So it's just always the last season during the championship, they'd make very, very, very limited changes to the meta, which is why we have basically a second go around of this league, like this meta, because they made limited changes. And then once the championship is over, which is August, then they usually introduce big changes in September. So again, like the Wing Attack and Shadow Claw and Steel Wing, like these are all changes that have happened since that championship is over, which is why we expect that to happen again. At least I am. So we'll see what happens in a month, little less than a month. So I will cover it when that happens. I should be able to cover it pretty quick. I may take time off at the end of August, around that time when the news usually drops. Trying to figure out my schedule. I can't believe it's August 4th when I'm filming this. Oh yeah, I guess it's going up tomorrow afternoon. So August 5th. Can't believe it's August 5th already. There is 1, 2, 3, just under 4 weeks of summer left, and then they go back to school, and then work is going to go crazy because everyone's going to be back at work. I mean, work is still very busy for me because I got 2 programs going on. But yeah, we'll see how September goes. We'll see what the new season looks like. Hopefully it changes something up, the meta. Again, I expect, just based on experience, I would expect the meta to shift and they're going to buff or nerf something that will cause the meta to shift, in my opinion. However, that will be accompanied by very other little effort to GBL. So you will have basically a repeat of leagues that you've seen. Great League, Ultra League, Master League, all times 3 with a limited Great League Cup throughout. So what are we looking at? September, October, November. So Halloween Cup will be one in October. Trying to think if there's any other cups that usually come around September to November. Not usually. There's just like a repeat of every sort of 3 months. There's a cup that they always do. Halloween Cup in the October, Love Cup in February, usually a Holiday Cup in December. You have a Summer Cup in the summer. And then maybe there's like 1 or 2 others that always repeat. So September, October, November, we will definitely see a Halloween Cup. And you'll just get a repeat of probably these limited cups. Again, Fossil Cup, Fantasy Cup, another cup with 3 to 4 limited meta Pokemon, repeated Great League to make sure there's always a Great League on during the Ultra League and Master League. And that'll be it. That will be the schedule for next year with potential move updates, is my guess, having done this a long time now. So this one was a pretty easy hard counter. Anyways, yeah, this is the last battle. Those are my thoughts on the season, thoughts on the wrap up here. I know they are introducing the, what's it called? Dynamax eventually, but I don't think that affects GBL. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to try and cover more of these event type stuff. So this Wednesday, I've got a whole in-depth analysis of the second half of the Team Rocket event. So I look at Shadow Crest, whether it's better or not, and then I look at these other new Pokemon, Timber, Tortuga, Archon, to see if they're any good, and then the raids, which Shadow Pokemon you need to focus on the raids. So that will come Wednesday. I like doing these. It gives me another thing to do. Plus, it kind of brings back to the main actual weekly events that people do. And then, yeah, it's perfect because when I'm gone, there's the Pokemon Go Championship week. That's going to be a big one for us because there's like a bunch of Pokemon in the wild that are good for GBL. Like Mankey for Annihilate, Lickitung, Marill for Azumarill, Paldean Wooper for Clodsire, Carbink, like Grubbin for Chargebug. So a bunch of Pokemon in the wild for GBL. Plus, at the same time, there's a certain Pokemon encountered during so you can catch a Lickitung with Body Slam, and then you can evolve Quagsire, Altaria, Chargebug, and Talonflame to get their legacy moves: Aqua Tail, Moonblast, Volt Switch, and Incinerate. So it's a really good event. And then there's like a GBL 4-day Go Battle week from the Friday to the Tuesday, 100 battles per day. So that was during the second last week of the season when Great League, Ultra League, Master League, and Catch Cup is on. So it's a very, very good week to focus on GBL, quite honestly, to play wide because you'll get a lot out of it for GBL. So that will come. I'll do that analysis video the day before that starts, which is like the following Thursday, I think. So So stay tuned for the in-depth analysis on those videos, and we'll pack it in with between some GBL teams. But anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.